900, or known as Microsoft Azure AI Fundamentals. So I'm just going to brush through what we went over last week. So this is the kind of the agenda. We done the AI concepts last week, and they're going to do the fundamentals of machine learning. And next week, then we do the third part, the fundamentals of AI services. So this is kind of briefly what we went over last week. Understand the importance of responsible AI and the different types of machine learning models, and identify AI services. The fundamentals of AI concepts, we went through that last week. What is artificial intelligence? And if anybody wants to look back at it, we have it on our LinkedIn Live, and it's on YouTube as well. All the shows we have are on LinkedIn Live and YouTube. So these are the AI workloads: machine learning, computer vision, natural language processing, document intelligence, knowledge mining, and generative AI. So I kind of covered all these last week, the different responsible models of AI: fairness, reliability and safety, privacy and security, inclusiveness, transparency, and accountability. So all these were covered last week. So now we're going to carry on this week with the fundamentals of machine learning. So what is machine learning? So it's for creating predictive models, find relationships in data, and training the data, as you can see on the screen there, like pick out different algorithms and models so we can get stuff out of them. We'll see as we go further now. I'll explain this a little bit more. So this is the types of machine learning. So you can use either, like if you're using supervised machine learning, right? That means you're training the data that is specific kind of labels. So you'd use regression or classification if you're using kind of numeric values, or if you're using kind of categorized stuff. The other one over on the other side then is unsupervised machine learning, where you're training data that is unlabeled, so it's clustered. And that's sort of, I suppose, another way you could use that as all the stuff that's kind of dumped out onto, we say, like Facebook or YouTube, kind of social media could be classed as clustering, because you would have pictures, videos, documents, all that kind of stuff. So that would be kind of unsupervised, whereas the supervised stuff then is more kind of like, could be, we'd say, an Excel sheet where it's got addresses like 1A or 2B or something like that. So that's the supervised versus the unsupervised learning. So training a model then, like we'd say our Excel sheet, right? We pick probably maybe regression for that one, because that's kind of numerical and it's got addresses. And so that's the kind of algorithms we were talking about there, the different algorithms in the training your models. So first of all, you pick your algorithm, as I just said there, and then you want to get your model to function, and then it just trains it, kind of goes around in circles basically until it kind of gets the best prediction out of your data. hopefully up around the late 90s, 97, 98%, and you're kind of good to go then. So you don't really need to know for the AI 900, you don't really need to know the whole function of, we say, an algorithm, because it does all that for you. And you don't really need to know about encapsulation or anything like that. It doesn't go that deep, so don't worry about any things like that. And it just kind of, you want to know about um, what type of algorithm are you going to use. If it's an Excel sheet, we'd say you're going to use regression or classification, one of those ones. And if it's something that's kind of all over the place in chunks or wherever, you're going to use the third one. Second there now. Next one then. So deep learning as well. You don't really need to know about human neural networks. It doesn't go down that deep. Just know that it uses deep learning as part of artificial intelligence. So you don't need to know the mathematics about function brackets x comma w. You don't need to know any of that kind of stuff. So that's getting the scary parts out of the way for the exam. So you don't need to know this is just kind of for this training. And here, this looks scary as well when you see this kind of neural network example. You don't need to know this for the AI 900. It's just kind of an example how it actually works under the hood when it's doing all the kind of mathematical training of the models. So this is kind of a classification one. So what is machine learning? So Azure Machine Learning, it's actually a cloud-based platform for machine learning. It uses Azure Machine Learning Studio, and that kind of has a drop and drag thing, like you can pick your different algorithms and drag them into the middle of the screen. And then it uses the machine learning model then to train your different models, and you can publish it then as well. It has a thing for it will get your URL and you can actually publish it out onto the web then with your predicted models. The next one, this is only just for a class thing. If somebody wants to go in and do the actual, see the automated machine learning, how it works and that. So that's the screen actually is just for an exam inside the classroom where students can actually go onto the thing wherever. So that's kind of it for this week. Next week I'll be going over to the next part of the Azure AI services. So Amelia, you left this.
Hi.
You're back again. Here you go. So if you want to share your screen with us, so
Yes, I just wanted to let you know I couldn't stream this to my audience because it said that there's already like maximum number of guests streaming.
okay. So I
Mhm.
think Stephen added his one. So we
I'm
actually have.
I'm I'm wondering what's the maximum number because we are not that much here. Like we are five guests in total, or
Yeah.
are we?
So yeah, we had 12 one week.
Sometimes we can
Oh,
stream more than that, right?
that's
So why are we giving
interesting.
that?
Like, okay. Um,
Do you want to share your screen? Let's see. Let's try it together before
Sure.
you can.
Sure. Let me share. Let me share. I have to
Yeah.
share the one
So
way or the other.
click on
So give
entire
me one
screen.
sec. So I know. Okay. Share screen. So here we are. Okay. I'll be. I mean, I hope it's going to work out well because I have a very wide screen. You remember, guys? So I hope it's going to be really readable for you. If not, let me know, and then
Yeah.
I'll share the other one. Okay.
Okay.
So
I
let
can
me
see.
close maybe these ones, and then maybe just open this one like this. Okay, so if I go to stream this to your audience, then I added my profile, and then this is what I got.
Okay.
Yes, so very interesting. Um, I wonder. Yes, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
They, maybe they see. This is my second year having StreamYard,
Yes,
and last year they actually doubled the price of it
yes,
for the same amounts of guests and admins. So I used to have 4 admins before because it they were increasing it from 450 euros up to 900.
oh
So I wasn't
wow,
going paying the
more than the
900.
double.
So
Yes,
they just halved everything then. So I presume that's why we're only able to have five
maybe they
five.
have like a limit now, like 3 or 5. I don't know. Kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. Okay, so let me now share the presentation with you. Um, okay, let's see if this is going to work. Yes. Are you able to see the presentation?
Yes.
It looks good, or it looks too small for your side?
Oh no, it's perfect. We can
Okay,
read it, no problem.
awesome. Awesome. Okay, thank you. Well, very happy to see you. I'm very happy to be here again. Maybe shortly for, I think Joseph, you know me, Frank, you know me too. But I think Sheena, that's the very first time I see you. I think we are connected via LinkedIn. And of course, yes, and of course, for everybody else watching the show tonight. I like to say I'm Amelia Hernandez, and I'm Microsoft certified trainer, active one. And I'm Microsoft 365 and Power platform consultant working as a freelancer and a Microsoft 365 and Copilot adoption and change specialist. So my user group here in Austria at the moment, the Power Platform enthusiast. So if you're watching and you are a Power Platform enthusiast too, join us. We are very happy to gather all the users in our community. So today I'd like to talk to you about, well, we all heard it last week, I think the 15th of January, Copilot for every employee. Microsoft wants to empower not only those that can afford the license, but everyone within the organization. And I think that's a great news. And to celebrate it, I said to myself, hey, I have to join the Azure and AI show and try to bring clarity about the difference between Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat and Microsoft 365 Copilot. So that's basically what I would like to talk about it today. And before I start going through the table, because I have a table that it's kind of making the comparison between the two products or the two features. I would like first to show you how the two experiences look like for a user with a license, meaning a Microsoft 365 Copilot user, and for a user that hasn't been assigned the license yet, but still have the option to use Copilot, because now Copilot is for everyone within the organization. So let me maybe jump into that. I have here Alex. So Alex, my test user, Alex Wilbur, and Alex is a Microsoft 365 Copilot chat user or Copilot chat user, meaning he hasn't yet got the license of Microsoft 365. Still, he's able to use the chat, so he is able to use the chat that is grounding with a web source, and he is able to use agents. So he's not able to create by himself agents at the moment, but still, if somebody else within the organization creates an agent and share it with him, then he'll be able to access this agent. And the great thing about it, if this agent is using organizational data, still doesn't matter if Alex doesn't have Microsoft 365 Copilot as a license assigned, because through agents, Alex is able to use Copilot with organizational data. So that's actually a great news, and it sounds kind of a workaround, but it is not, because agents, the idea behind is that they are specialized Microsoft 365 copilots, and able to look for or to grab into organizational data, and give then the best answers possible. So you can see as well, which is very important, that Alex, even if he doesn't have a Microsoft 365 Copilot license, with Copilot Chat, Alex is protected with enterprise data protection. And you may be missing totally the toggle, work and wake toggle. But that's totally okay, because for Alex, since he doesn't have a Microsoft 365 Copilot license, he is, of course, not able to use the work part of Microsoft Copilot, and he isn't able to use either the integration with the Microsoft 365 apps. I have another account here which I can if I can show you, just to compare it, and I will just put it a bit bigger. And this is my account. This account does have a Microsoft 365 Copilot license assigned, meaning I do have the toggle. I'm, of course, as well protected, or my prompts and my data are protected with enterprise data protection. And I do have the possibility to create agents and share to colleagues, like, for example, Alex. So all in all, is a great news, especially for example, in case of Alex. He is a Microsoft Business Basic user, so for him it's possible to use Copilot, and even to use Copilot with organizational data, thanks to the agents. So let me go back now to the presentation and show you present. So let's give it a minute as thinking. Okay, now it's going to work. Okay, so now we are back in the presentation and we are within this table, which is structure with 3 columns, the aspect, or the aspect, and then the column in the middle is Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat, and then you have a Microsoft 365 Copilot column. So and let's go through the differences. So for the aspect licensing requirements, for Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat, every employee will need an Intra ID account and a Microsoft 365 subscription. That's the requirement in order to be able to use Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. And then for Microsoft 365 Copilot, which, as I mentioned before, this is the one with the integration to Microsoft 365 apps, and the one that and the one that does have the toggle working web. Here you have the Intra ID account, and as a requirement, of course, you need a Microsoft 365 subscription, but they are very special subscriptions. So you need either to have a E3, E5, or for education, A3, A5, and then for businesses, business standard and premium. The target group. So as I said before, so actually both are for commercial customers, but the idea of a Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat, it really opens up the access of Copilot to more customers. For example, those that have the business basic license, they are now able to access Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. And then for Microsoft 365 Copilot, you have as a target group enterprises, business, and education. There's a subscription fee. That's also great because you can use the Copilot Chat with at no additional cost. And then for Microsoft 365 Copilot, you do need, of course, to buy an add-on subscription, which is right now 30 euros. And as far as it hasn't changed, you need to buy in advance for 1 year. So, and then if access to organizational content, so with Copilot Chat, no, actually, you don't have by default access to organizational content, or those users within your tenant don't have access to organizational content, but via agents, they are able to access organizational content. So if you have agents that are grounded on organizational content, then those users will be able to access organizational content. And here for this case, you have to take into account that Microsoft will do bill for the usage of those agents via Azure subscription, pay as you go. So, and then you have Microsoft 365 Copilot, and yes, it does ground it to organizational data, of course, Microsoft Graph data and Microsoft 365 apps data, and optionally it can ground it to web. So, and then data sources. Well, I kind of said it before, but for the Copilot Chat, every user can, of course, do a copy plus paste of text in a prompt, and they can, of course, upload files within the context of a prompt. And if they do have access to Microsoft Edge Copilot, the Copilot in Microsoft Edge, then of course they could summarize potentially every site, every intranet site, or every PDF file within your organization. So the data sources, it all, of course, depends on what the users are allowed to, and but potentially they could, of course, use organizational data to enrich their prompts and get exactly, or get more likely, what they would like to have as an answer. And for Microsoft 365 Copilot, you have, of course, it's grounded on Microsoft Graph, Microsoft 365 Apps data, and optionally, it's grounded on web content. So security and compliance, we have enterprise data protection in both sides, but you do have, for Microsoft 365 Copilot, other tools that can help you to stay compliant. For example, SharePoint Advanced Management, and more. So the user interface, I think, it's accessible, of course, via the web browser for Copilot Chat. I heard you have a iOS and Android, and I've heard, but I cannot, but it isn't at least yet in my tenant, that it will be possible to use a Copilot Chat also, also in Teams and Outlook. Let's see if it's coming, and when is it coming. And then we have, for Microsoft 365 Copilot, the same user interfaces, but we have, of course, extras like the integrated Microsoft 365 Copilot in all Microsoft 365 apps. Exactly. And agents, both can use agents, but the Copilot Chat users, they cannot create agents. And in the case of Microsoft 365 Copilot, they can create agents in the web browser interface, and they can, of course, as well use Microsoft Copilot Studio, which at the moment is it's like comes together with the license of Microsoft 365 Copilot. So, and then you have web search integration. Yes, of course, Copilot Chat can just ground it on web content. So it needs the integration, while Microsoft 365 Copilot is optionally, so it can be controlled by the user and also by the admins if the grounding on web content is allowed or not. And then we have the deployment. So within the deployment for Copilot Chat, you have like tasks like pin, enable web search, network. So there are specific endpoints that you should check they are set up and allowed within your organization. And you can as well have some group policy for Copilot in Edge. While for Microsoft 365 Copilot, you have this task, except but the pin Copilot, because for Microsoft 365 Copilots, the pin task, the pinning is per default on. So meaning you have this task, and you have much more, of course, because of the organizational data. You have really to take care of which SharePoint sites, for example, are exposed to web search, and data loss protection rules, and much more. Okay, and GPT, they are both, of course, using the same GPT or version. Okay, so that's pretty much what I had to tell you today, and there are very very cool resources on that, and I just brought you to. There are more official Microsoft resources and documentation, but this I say is like the starting point, the learning path, manage and extend Microsoft 365 Copilot, and the resources to set up Microsoft 365 Copilot chat. So I recommend you take a look. That's all. Thank you very much.
That was a very, very nice and explicit one, Amelia. Thank you very much for sharing this. I've
Thank you,
taken a
Joseph.
screenshot of it. I have to go back to review that. It's very beautiful. And thank you
Very
very much.
cool. You're
Yeah.
welcome. You're welcome anytime. And I'm very happy to be here. And I gave this week the Microsoft the manage and extend course for some IT admins here in Austria, and I was like, hey, I like as I was preparing, I was like, I have really to share this to the Azure and AE in AI community, because it's really important to to understand the difference between the two parts of the product, and to be able to take the most advantage of it.
Yes.
That's true. Absolutely. Myself, it was not very clear to me prior to now, honestly. I think this is going to be very, very useful to me. Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you. And your slide is so beautiful. The way it was coming in.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm trying to look for you. Okay, I will stop sharing now. Yes, thank
Okay.
you very much. Thank you very much. And I'm also very happy what you share is also very, very important, and also very important for the administrators.
Mm.
And especially the tip about the group, using a
Yeah.
group exactly to license users is really a very important one.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So it kind of really went with your thing that you had, Joseph, earlier about the different licenses and the different prices.
Yeah,
So that kind
definitely.
of really explains it in two different tracks.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
very good. So we're gone way over time, so I'm just going to end the live show, and we'll be back here at 6 p.m. GMT next week. So what time is it in your? Is it 1 hour, Mile? At your
Yes, it's 1 hour exactly. Like I have right now is 20, it's 8:24.
okay?
I bet it's 7:24 for you,
Yeah,
Frank.
yeah.
Mhm.
So thanks everyone for staying that extra bit longer. Thanks, Sina. Thanks,
Thank
Joseph.
you.
Thank you, Frank. Thank
Thanks
you very
all.
much.
See you again
Thank
next
you,
And it
week.
Amelia.
was nice to meet
Okay.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
same
you.
here.
Same here,
Yeah.
Amelia.